All right. As far as the injuries go, Tyreek Hill um, had a sore heel, and so we held him out for most of the game, although he jumped in and played a little bit. Um, and then Darrell Williams had a great toe that was bothering him there, his big toe. And other than that, I think we're okay. My hat goes off to Vic and the Broncos for the game that they played. I thought they played with great emotion and effort, and I was glad that we came out on the right end in our case for us. But Vic does a heck of a job, and I respected the heck out of him as far as his football team. They're tough. Ingram, I thought really his two big hits I thought were big, and the push he was getting off the edge I thought was important for us, and none bigger than the last one, where we were able to pick it up and score. So that was a great job by both those guys. And then offensively, McKinnon stepping in for Darrell, McCole stepping in for 10. I just thought that both those two had big nights. I mean, McColl's was over 100 yards, eight receptions, somewhere in that area. Pat did a nice job on third down. I love the way our defense buckled down and just they pared down and did a nice job. I think the leadership on the defense, starting with Spags and with the players and the assistant coaches, I just thought it was tremendous. EB and Mike Kafka, they both had calls in there that were tremendous and much appreciated. And all the assistant coaches on the offensive side, and then special teams. Likewise, we had a couple of hiccups there, but powered through that too. So all in all, a good win, an important win for the Kansas City Chiefs. So, and then we will see what we have. I guess by tomorrow night, we'll have an idea of who we're playing and the times and all that. But we sure look forward to bringing a playoff game back into Arrowhead and with our fans. So with that, time's yours.
Let's go first to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Andy. What was it about tonight's game, other than opportunity with Tyreek not playing a lot, that allowed McCole Hardman to have a big game? And Brad, I'll have a second question as well.
Well, we were able to get the ball in his hands quick, and you saw him just explode. I mean, he was playing fast and very fast. So he was explosive. We've seen that in other games too, but he really had opportunities to get it quickly and to hit it.
And what kind of prize? You guys can obviously still be the number one seed depending on what happens tomorrow. What kind of prize would getting that first round bye be for you guys?
Well, I mean, we're going to end up getting an extra day with this game. So if we don't get that, we'll be ready. If we don't get the bye, we'll be ready. And if we do, we'll try to take advantage of that time there too. So, but either way, we're gonna utilize whatever time we have to make sure we get ourselves right for the next game.
Let's go next to Herbie Tiopi. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Coach, and Brad, I have two questions here. Coach, the footing out there seemed to be an issue. How did y'all address it throughout the game, and did y'all have to change cleats during halftime? And Brad, I'll have a second one after this.
Some of the guys at the middle of the field, they resawed it, and that was a little bit slippery. Although the edges, once the temperature started kicking down a little bit, there was a little bit of moisture there too. So it ended up being a bit slippery. But I thought the guys, they knew that before the game. So the ones that felt like they needed to switch cleats did that.
And then lastly, Coach, Travis Kelce looked like he got banged up on that last play there when he caught that first down. He's okay?
Yeah, he's all right. Yeah.
Let's go next to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Andy. At what point did you know that Tyreek wasn't going to be in his full capacity? And then secondly, a lot of the plays that McCole had were behind the line of scrimmage catches. Were those plays that you inputted this week intended to be for Tyreek Hill, and then McCole had to step into that role, or were those plays already intended for McCole?
A couple were and some weren't. Probably the majority weren't, but were not for 10. So, and I knew about him before the game. He tweaked it during the warm-ups, his heel. He's had that before, so he just landed on it funny, and he told me that he was hurting. So
let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Good, Pete.
Coach, just when it comes to Jerick McKinnon, what does it say about him that he spent some time in IR and really after the Williams injury kind of became a plug and play and was able to just have such a productive game and stay within there?
Yeah, Pete. So he was a quarterback. I mean, a legitimate quarterback in college. And so he understands that whole concept of team. He gets that leadership, and that's kind of the way he handles himself. I mean, he never complains about anything. He goes 100 miles an hour and does it to the best of his ability. And as a coach, I mean, that's all you can ask for, but it was just a matter of him staying healthy. He had a couple setbacks there. So getting healthy and being healthy, you got to see what he did there.
Next to Nate Taylor. Go, Nate.
Andy, I have two questions for you. Just when you guys won the first matchup against the Broncos, I believe McCole was only targeted one time for one reception. I just wonder between then and now, just what you've seen from McCole, maybe behind the scenes that may have helped him for this opportunity tonight. And just what impresses you most about Nick Bolton with his first regular season concluding today?
Yeah, well, listen, I'll start with Nick because that was a game changer. I was hoping that he wouldn't stumble, right? So those guys don't get a chance to run that far, that fast very often. And he ran it like a stallion. I mean, he took off and looked like a running back there. So I was happy for him. He's had a pretty good rookie year, I'd say, and having 17 games that you play in, that's not the easiest thing to do as a rookie, but he's taken advantage of it. I think it's great to have Hitch there to kind of learn from, and he's taken advantage of that too. So, and then I've gone on too long, so I don't remember what the first question was. McCole. Yeah. So McCole, McCole, the one thing McCole's done is all season he's tried to get better. And so you got to see it tonight. I mean, we've been seeing the progress as we've gone on, and we were able to showcase what they did defensively today.
We'll last to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Coach, kind of following up on Nate's question there about Nick. He's another one of the guys that obviously doesn't look like he's hit much of a rookie wall at all. What is it, do you feel like, that's allowed him to be so successful? I mean, leading the team in tackles, even though he hasn't been a starter all season. Yeah, well, he did the same thing at Missouri where he led the conference in tackles. He's a good tackler. He's a humble kid, so he knows what he doesn't know, and he's willing to work on it. And there's something to be said about that. So he's continued to do that throughout the season, and I would imagine he'll do it throughout his career. I mean, that's something that you need to keep as you go forward. It's a great tool to have, a mental tool to have, but it's even better when you had the success he has to continue to do that and keep working your game.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, thank you.